Andy Johnson. We're talking about putting together a literature review. And a literature review always starts with critical reading. Now, first of all, if you're going to do a literature review, the first thing is to find your topic. What are you interested in? Then, and this is the important part, put your topic in the form of a question. You're not just doing a report on something. The literature review is gathering data to answer a question. So I was interested in vocabulary. My question is, what strategies are effective in developing students' word knowledge or vocabulary? This gives me a focus, helps me when I'm reading, as you'll see in just a minute. But reading critically, reading expository text or information text is different than reading a story or narrative text. If you're reading expository text, especially journal articles for the literature review, you must ask yourself two questions. Am I understanding what I'm reading? If not, you go back to make sure you understand. It's very common to have to reread sections 2 or 3 times. Very few people that I know are able to read a research article or even a journal article from start to finish. Most have to go back and use some strategy. And then the second question to ask is this information relevant to my question? That again points to the importance of putting your topic in the form of a question. So as you're reading, you are attending specifically to information or ideas that are relevant to your question. Having that question is important. You're focusing only on the relevant data as you're reading. Not everything in an article or a research paper needs your attention, and not everything is relevant to your question. That's why it is so important to have that question. Now, when you're reading, I recommend that you make marks in the margin of the important ideas. That way, it does not interrupt the flow of reading. Some people will take notes. I recommend you just put notes in the margin and then go back. Now, what I do is actually a 3-stage process. I read quickly and I put marks in the margin. Then I go back and highlight. And the third step is to take notes. All right. So highlight, and then I go back and I take notes, only recording those ideas, only the important stuff related to my question. In my notes, I record using short abbreviated sentences. I paraphrase so I can easily see the main ideas here. And then as I go back to begin to look for my draft, I'm using inductive analysis to look for groups or similar ideas to create structure in my reading. You see, I'm recording using short abbreviated sentences. And here I am recording. This is one article. This is another article using short abbreviated ideas. Now here's the thing. Some people try to take shortcuts. They think that, well, I'll just read and I'll put the books down and I'll write. Shortcuts always end up being long cuts. Follow the process. Academic writing is easy if you understand and follow the process. It's complicated and you end up writing garbage if you try to take shortcuts or if you don't follow the process. Follow the process. The onus is on you to make sure you understand what you're reading. Don't just record words. You get a word salad that way. Make sure you read and reread and write down exactly what that author is trying to say. And when you write down, you are paraphrasing. Paraphrasing what the author says, not using the author's words, but your words. This invites you to attend to deep structure versus surface structure. Deep structure is the meaning. Surface structure is just the arrangement of words. And we are concerned with the big idea, the author's meaning. So you're paraphrasing using short abbreviated sentences for your notes. Just enough to hold the idea, and that helps you avoid plagiarism, where you're using the author's words. So just paraphrase using your words, your short abbreviated sentences, and you can see here, this one, there was only about 3 ideas that were important. One idea that was important. Again, it points to the importance of starting with that question. Just enough words to hold the idea, and as I go back, I could easily see the structure of things. Now, this is what I did. I actually used color to highlight similar ideas. So, big ideas. Put your topic in the form of a question. The lit review essentially is answering that question. You're collecting data. Read for understanding. Pause. Do I understand? If not, return until you do understand the author's ideas. Take notes, short abbreviated sentences. That helps you avoid plagiarism and make sure you understand what you're reading. I've kind of said that idea twice, but that's so important. You're not just recording words and looking to plunk words into your paper. Make sure you understand what you're reading.